Are you using AI in your video creation process to streamline the process? Or are you just using AI because, hey, well, it's what the cool kids do? Well, in this episode of T.E.A Talks, we're going to get into, Darren specifically is going to share with us 3 of his favorite tools, AI tools that actually work and make a real practical difference. Let's get into it. Right, Darren, here we are. Welcome back.
Yep. It's one of my favourite topics.
Isn't it? This is going to be interesting, this one. And I know very little about this, so it's going to be over to you. But you wanted to talk about AI in this one. And I think it's really interesting. Again. Well, we love AI.
We've talked about AI before, but we want to do it.
You want to do it. You want to
properly this time.
You want to delve a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
And I think it is interesting this because you sort of premise this one with how can AI kind of help you make better videos. Mm-hmm. And as someone who knows very little about how the tools you use and how you do it, I guess, you know, we've all seen AI being used to create all weird and wonderful, funky things.
Yes,
and I think you've got some stuff you want to show me, but we've all seen that. But, you know, kind of jokes aside, I think AI, in a real world perspective, you know, can actually be a big time saver. It can make efficiencies and actually do some of the stuff you've been able to do where you go, that's not going to take me hours. That's going to take me minutes, you know, or less than that.
Seconds.
Is amazing. And you've got some tools you want to go us through. So kind of the floor's yours, just take us through. But I think remembering that there'll be people watching this that are either not using AI or using a little bit of AI, but kind of going, well, I'm just doing it because I've heard so-and-so's doing it, and actually I don't know if it's going to make a real difference to my business, whereas the stuff you're using makes a proper difference.
Makes a huge difference.
Yeah,
so
go for it.
As we've just said, we talked about AI before.
Yeah.
We've talked about the funnier side of it and the sort of mind-blowing side of it.
Yeah.
We haven't really ever delved deep into the practical side of it.
Okay.
The things that we actually use for our video creation every single day.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of tools that we do use, in particular 3 that I want to go over.
Yep.
But before that,
go on.
Talking about the funny side.
Go on. I am actually dreading it, to be honest.
I've got an update.
Oh, please. This is always so amazing, because for your benefit, he will not let me see these before we're recording. So this is new for me, like it is for you. I've genuinely not seen this. Go on.
So last time I showed you what AI could do if it wanted to come up with music.
Yeah. Oh, God,
and it came up with a song about the Evergreen.
Awful. Yeah.
This time we've got video-related AI.
Okay.
And essentially what it does is Luma AI you give it an image, and it will create a video from that image. Now, sometimes it's pretty impressive.
Okay. So, keyword there, sometimes. All right.
So,
this is not an image of us, is it, or something like? Oh, please, you haven't, This is going to be so embarrassing. Go on.
First one's not others.
Okay.
First one, lovely little picture I took.
Okay.
In my recent holiday to Lyme Regis.
Right.
So this lovely little robin.
Right.
And I thought, let's see what it does with this.
That's all AI?
That's all AI. All I gave
from a still image?
Was that still image.
It is scary, isn't it? Let's look at that.
Turns it into that image. Now, it's not perfect.
Yeah.
But it is very interesting.
Yeah.
That's about as good as it got.
Oh my God, this is going to be awful.
So,
okay.
Next image. Lovely little image of us on a bench.
Oh, please. Okay, go on.
We were having a lovely time. But AI had other plans.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
I think I got the worst of it. There's
a lot going on here. We need to watch it again.
It rotates around.
Oh, what's going on with my foot? That's my leg broken.
Yeah. So that didn't work.
No.
But the worst I saved for last. Here we had, and it's sort of done it a bit sideways, so I'm going to have to, it'll be fine for the people watching, but I'm going to have to hold my phone a bit sideways here. Here's a little mirror selfie I took.
Okay.
And this is what happened. Ooh. Very weird.
What is going on here? I can't even.
Yeah.
say? I don't even know what to say. I'm actually. Let's just move on.
Yeah.
I don't even know. What do you even say to that?
Yeah, words fail. It's bizarre, to say
Freaky.
the least. And there are lots of other things out there where people have, I believe, used this exact same tool and come up with quite scary results.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
There have been certain images.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a bit freaky, isn't it?
People have done it a lot with memes.
Right.
And they do become quite scary. A lot of them have like weird sort of dark figures in them.
Very strange.
Yeah, very, very weird.
Yeah.
So that's an example of a tool that has absolutely no practical use.
You're welcome.
So have a bit of fun with that.
Yeah.
But don't use that in your day to day.
No.
Because you won't get anything out of it.
No.
Similar to some of the other things we've talked about. However, the 3 tools that I want to talk about are going to be very useful for you because we use them every day. So to get into them, let's start with the thing that I use to help us with these very videos.
Okay.
So in a lot of our videos, we work with long form content and there are multiple camera angles and it's a very standardized process in terms of how these are edited.
Okay.
When you talk, the camera's on you, and when I talk, like I am now, the camera's on me. And then sometimes the camera's on both of us with the wide angle.
Yes.
It's very standardized, it's quite simple, something that would take me, depending on the size of the video, say for example if we were doing a podcast, which is considerably longer, could take me up to half an hour. Just
to do what?
Just to go through and to make sure that I'm cutting the 3 clips of video so that whenever you speak, you're shown. Whenever I speak, I'm shown. And whenever there's a bit of a gap or a bit of an extended bit of speech, it shows a bit of a wide angle just for variety. There's an AI tool that will do all of that for you in about 30 seconds. And that's called Autopod.
Everyone's scribbling that down now.
Now, it is only used for Premiere Pro, and we're getting more into this is specifically for the people making video out there. But there is actually a version coming out specifically for DaVinci Resolve, which is what I use to edit. And the Autopod is a subscription-based service. The one for DaVinci Resolve, which we are sort of purchasing, is not a subscription-based service, which for me is always the way to go. I think that's called SnapPod. I'll have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure. So essentially, we use that every single day because it will cut down, as I said, a half an hour job into a 30-second job. And you always, of course, go through and check afterwards. But in my experience, it works.
And so what it's doing, for Lemon, just to be understand, what it's doing is it's taking the multiple camera angles that are loaded in and it's slicing it up so that, as you say, when you're talking it's on you, when I'm talking it's on me, but it's doing all that so you haven't got to do, because I've seen you once or twice do it for whatever reason manually, and that's a lot of work because you've got to watch it and go, right, it's gone from Aaron, it's gone to Darren, it's back to Aaron, whereas this thing will go and do that automatically.
We'll just do it automatically, and it works based on aligning audio clips to video clips, so that it can see the peaks of the audio and say, that person's talking, so I'll make sure that bit of video is being shown. So it is very sort of logical in its process, but it just is such a time.
I was going to say it's a massive time saver.
So
what's the next one?
Absolutely recommend that one. The second one works in a very similar way, except this is great for when you're posting for social media. And say, for example, when we've done a podcast or one of these, and you want to find those really engaging snippets. You just want to get little short clips and you want to post them on social media. Now, sometimes we might just go in and do that manually because we know, that's a really great bit. But if you want to save a lot of time and you want AI to do some of that work for you, there is a website called Opus Clip, which I'm sure a lot of people do already know about because it is quite popular. But for those who don't, Opus Clip, again, it's a subscription, but you do have to pay a subscription for
but these are not very much money.
They're not that much money, no.
They're really not.
But essentially what it will do is you can put in your video, your full video, no matter how long it is, and it will analyze it. It will figure out which bits are the most engaging. And there are different parameters you can set to sort of give it an idea of what length you want and what sort of video it is and all of that. but it will basically choose the best bits and it will cut it all into clips and it will put it into the right aspect ratio. It can give it subtitles. It can even give you stock footage or even AI generated
Basically
footage
do your job for you.
In a lot of ways.
What am I paying you for? it's doing all this work. This is new to me. I had no idea.
So let's scrap this video. Turn the cameras off. So in that sense, and it can give you up to say 10 different cut downs.
Yeah.
Which means that you've got a plethora of
But
videos.
how, I think the question some people have is, yeah, that sounds good, but actually does it do any good? Is it good? Does it work?
So, depending on what you've got going on in your video, if you say, for example, have a lot of things, if you filmed a video in landscape and you want to cut down videos into portrait,
right,
but everything in that video is required to be in, to see the full screen for it to work, you might have problems with that. It can still just put the landscape video in a portrait and it has sort of bars either side.
Okay.
But that's not great.
So
there are, of course, limitations.
You're going to have to go back and check it, aren't you?
You are.
Yeah.
Because I think there are times where it's done things for us, and I've gone back and checked and gone, that's not quite right.
But it does give you, what is it, like 10 or something?
Yeah.
So out of that 10, you're going to get 1 or 2 bits that are just going to go, that's spot on.
And actually, most of them come out looking pretty good. And then, of course, you can, in the website, go in and make small changes to each of these clips. Say, for example, if it's got a bit of subtitles wrong, or if it's done like sort of the cut slightly incorrect, you can change all of that stuff in there. But it is a massive time saver if you just want to get a collection of clips ready to post for social media.
And what's it called?
Opus Clip.
There you go. You're welcome. What's the third one?
Last one, and this is less video related, but it ties in with video, and it's called, everybody's heard of ChatGPT.
Yes.
ChatGPT is a very general AI sort of assistant, but it's not the best at writing. And I often joke that ChatGPT is very dramatic. And I think I've even said it to you on one of these videos, how you can say to ChatGPT, that's so cringe, and it will actually just calm it down a bit. But there is a different AI assistant that is far better at writing, and that's Claude AI. Now, Claude AI is what we use when we're trying to come up with our blog posts that are tied in directly to videos like this, because we've got all the information in the video. So it would take us a very long time to watch the video and create the blog from that. So instead, what we do to get us started is we use Claude AI, you take the transcript from the video, and then you put it into Claude AI and it gives you a blog from it. You ask it to give you a blog using the transcript, which means that it takes everything we've said in the video, it has all the information it needs, and then it puts it into a format that is of a blog.
And so will it headings, subheadings, all of that?
All of that. It will do bullet points, numbers.
Mind blown.
Anything like that. Which is a great starting point. I would never recommend people just put it in and use it, because you've always got to check your work. In every single instance of AI gone wrong, I've always summed it up to nobody was checking their work.
Yeah, exactly that.
And so I would always recommend you go through and check, but it's a fantastic starting point just to have all of the topics and talking points that we've gone over in these videos.
And what we do is we do the 80-20 rule, don't we? So it will do 80% of the content, and then that final 20%, that little bit of polish, that little bit of finesse, that maybe a bit of context that's needed, or that bit of tone of voice, we'll do that final 20% to make it so that you can read it and it reads like a really well-informed, article that mirrors what we're discussing in the video,
and but mirrors our style,
but it's got our tone, our style, all of that, and that, my friends, is how we're able to produce so much content. I've been messing you're creating a lot of videos and you get a lot of content. How are you doing so much? Because we're using AI, baby, and it
helps us to streamline the process.
Why wouldn't you do it? We create this, and then off the back of this, as you said, I'm just thinking because half the names and certainly how you use these, I haven't got the foggiest, but I know the output of this means we can sit here for 20 minutes and create a T-Talk.
Yeah.
Off the back of that T-Talk, we will get a blog post, which you've created, be able to create it in minutes. Off the back of the blog post can then go on the website.
Yeah.
We've got the transcript and the description for the YouTube stuff, which again, we go in and finesse that final 20%. You then use another one of the, Opus Clip to then slice and dice this into a couple of trailers, a couple of bits, which again, you have to work on.
I will say the trailers are all
is different.
me.
The trailers are all, okay. We'll keep painting.
You've got to do a little bit of work.
Yeah, but not the trailers, but the little highlight bits, so you can have those sort of things, they can go, off there as well. And you can just, so off the back of, we put the effort in once, but then actually we can use AI to quicken the pace for the 3 or 4 other things off the back of one piece of content to go up. And that is a perfect encapsulation of, I think, AI being used very practically to save time, to save money, to make efficiencies, and to frankly mean we could get more done.
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't you use it?
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you use it? There you go. Hope you found that useful. You've got 3 there: Opus Clip, Claude.ai, and Autopod. 3 tools. Hopefully, at least one of them you might think, do you know what? I'm going to pop that into my little toolkit when you're creating your brand videos. If any of them you particularly like, let us know in the comments. We'd love to know which of those you think you've never heard of before. Maybe you think, I'm going to use that. We'd love to know. Let us know. And I think we'll wrap it here and say see you on the next one, shall we?
See you on the next one.
Thanks so much. Take care.